Right, Shanka Prakshalana number 58. So, what's the Shanka Prakshalana? So the Shanka means conch and Prakshalana means to wash clean. So I've done it 58 times, so this time I'm getting a little bit fancy on it because I've had lots of practice. So it's a brilliant way to rejuvenate, clear the mind, create some peacefulness, because when you clear the gut, which is the controller of the brain receiver. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I do it. This is both a yoga. I learned in my yoga teacher training. So I'm going to put in some hot water to start with. And we also use it in Ayurvedic hospitals and lots of different places for healing the gut and clearing out disease and a whole bunch of shite. So if you want to get rid of, on average, 2 to 3 kilos of gunk, including the environment for disease and where it's grown, and I've dropped 5 kilos myself, and I've dropped 5 kilos off people in 2 hours. This is for you. So this one here is black salt. I'm going to put in about a teaspoon in there. So what is it? Kala namak, some black salt from the Indian store, because it's got a high sulfur content. And a truly psychic friend with extrasensory perception did an energy healing for me and checked in and said, all right, you want to use black salt because it has a high sulfur content, and the sulfur is the main molecule, one of the main molecules and minerals for detoxification. So I went, oh, let's do that, shall we? And I'm going to go for, so this is about 600 mils, another teaspoon of the Epsom salts. So this is one of my favorites. As you can see, it's Epsom salt. You can use it for the bath. Absolutely great idea as well. And so it's for soothing and detoxing, and it has magnesium sulfate, which is the Epsom salts. And of course, sulfate is also a great detox molecule to flush through the intestines to clear out all sorts of gunkola. And it also has some lavender, sweet birch, juniper, cedarwood, clary sage, fir needle, and geranium oils, which will nourish the mucous membrane and get rid of all sorts of, let's just call them parasite gunk and nematodes and fungal infections and things. So I like to put in the hot water to dissolve the salt first, get that happening. So this is my concoction when we do the 5 movements next. It builds up a little bit of pressure. Once you've done it once, twice, 57 times, then it's a lot easier to deal with that pressure. So this is as you can see, these are all nourishing and cleansing things. And then I'm going to go for a different one afterwards. That will be stage 3. So here I'm just going to put in a bit of a splash of some apple cider vinegar. And there are a number of different types of apple cider vinegar you can get. Any organic one is great. This one has a beetroot flavour because I'm cleansing more blood. So that's been a big priority for me, especially recently. And it's got prebiotics and probiotics in it, which is really good when you're flushing out. You want to nourish and rebuild that gut flora. People seem to think you can get rid of good bacteria and bad bacteria, but they don't seem to understand it. So good tissue and dead tissue. And so in there, we've got half a lemon, and what I also like to do is to add in a little bit extra oils, is some pure lemongrass oil. So you'll notice these are all, and just a couple of drops because it's quite potent, and if you're not used to it, start small and go bigger as your body can adapt. Okay, so what I like to do is I'll shake that up, get some warm water in there, and finger test it. That's all right. You want a comfortable body temperature. So to get that accurate, put your finger in there. Warm, slightly warmer is better, because it's like having a shower. Your warm water cleans better. Finger. Okay, so there is Shanka concoction number 1. I'll shake that up, and I'm going to have a big gulp of that when I start. Yeah, the black salt adds an interesting bit different. So, but oh, you can add some sweetness to it. If you want to add a little bit of sweetness, some maple syrup is a good option for that as well. So that's option number one for the pre-flushing. Once I've started flushing out all the shite and all the mucus and fungus and all the other metabolic waste that comes through, I'm going to switch over to stage 2, because then like all the your gut's open because you've flushed out all the stuff, so you can absorb more things. So I'm going to move on to a different stage 2 ingredients.